Well, good evening, everyone. Michael Soothing here. I'm going to look at some stuff tonight that I'm going to use for the new aquarium. I picked some of this stuff up today at the local pet store, which is quite small. I can't really get my fish there, other than I'm going to get a few of those little goldfish to get the tank started. You know, you have to get the poop cycle going. You got to get a few little fish that you're not really going to keep in the tank long term, so that you can get all the proper bacteriological, biological activity going. So I got some goldfish granules to feed them. I'll show you someday the tank when it's all set up. I'm making a separate video, ASMR, showing the progress of the tank, but I won't show you that one until it's in a more mature state and I can edit the whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to try to make sense out of stuff that I don't have any idea how I'm going to use yet. Like this Siphon vacuum gravel cleaner here. So I got this in case I have to empty the tank also or do water changes. You use something like this. 6-foot flexible hose. Self-priming intake tube, whatever that means. Hose clip. Use an up and down motion to start the water flow. Maybe they should demonstrate it for me. Let's see if there's some instructions. Oh yeah. Insert the barbed end of the intake tube into one end of the flexible hose. Make sure you have a bucket at the bottom or there's going to be water going all over the floor. I remember some people will, if they had a small one of these, they would start it and walk away for a few minutes, you know, because they're cooking or something, and come back and there'd be water all over the place, right? So I have to make sure I don't make that error. Empty bucket, attach hose, keep the hose end and the bucket as low as possible. No problem there. Completely submerge the intake tube. Begin to move the tube rapidly in an up and down motion. Continue this motion 4 to 6 times until the siphon begins. Water will begin to flow into the bucket while you're sucking up the fish waste there off the bottom. You have to do this like once a week or, you know, I don't know yet. I have to read up on the best way to manage the aquarium. So that looks pretty straightforward. It says here you should change 25% of the water once per month. Only keep the aquarium lights on for 8 to 10 hours during the day. Turn off at night. Well, I'm going to have a planted aquarium, so I might leave the light on 12 hours per day or something. We'll see. So I also have this thing. I showed you in an unboxing video, but I've hooked up the flexible tube, and I have to hook it up to this pump, which I think I did not show you. So what I want to know is, does this pump have a single outlet or a dual outlet or what? Let's check and see. There's some kind of little air stones or something in the bottom here. Oh good. They got a bunch of hose here and some little, I don't know what those are, little filters or something to keep any large stuff from going bad in there. Well, these are air stones. So if you want, you can put one at the bottom of the aquarium and it'll make a stream of air bubbles, but that's what this thing's gonna do here. So let's see what this filter looks like. Yeah, it's got 2 outlets. I wonder if you can use just one if you feel like it. It's got little rubber feet, so you won't hear so much vibration when it's sitting on its shelf. Is this the instruction manual? Before using the pump, let's see. Avoid the pump being flooded. Please replace the air stones regularly if they're not making bubbles. Okay. Yeah, there's not too much else going on there. Connect the outlet pipe. The longer the air pipe is, the less the airflow it is. Suggest to select suitable tubing length, it says. Please install the air pump higher than the fish tank. I can't do that. If the pump is lower than the water level, we recommend you use an anti-return valve. Oh, that's what those little guys are. Anti-return valves. To prevent water from going down into the pump. But I don't think we'll have that problem. So far, so good. Got 2 lengths of tubing, 2 anti-return valves, so I can plug in an air stone and this thing here and see how they do. All right. That improves the oxygenation of the water. Now we have a submersible aquarium heater so that we can use this thermometer. Let's see if it's accurate. Yeah, it says 68 in here. And that is indeed the temperature in here at the moment. 68, I happen to know that already. I can see a thermometer from here. I think the optimum water temperature is considered to be about 72 to 80. So, since no one keeps their house that warm unless they're 90 years old, you need to have an aquarium heater, submersible. So that's what we have here. This one is for up to 40 gallons, and our tank that we're going to set up is 33. So we're okay there. This isn't like the little tiny ones I used to use when I had a 10-gallon tank 40 years ago or whatever it was. Okay. I'm going to have to figure out how to do all this stuff, huh? All cords have a twisty on them. And these twisties can come in handy later for other things. Like maybe I need to use it to weight down a piece of driftwood that I'm going to put in the tank. I don't know. Might have to tie a rock to the driftwood. Okay, this guy has little rubber suction cups, which I assume will help us stick it to the side of the tank. It's going to be hidden because I've got a tank that hides all this stuff in an enclosure in the back, which is kind of clever. You're not supposed to have this plugged in and working exposed to air, so I'm going to have to remember to unplug it if I'm ever doing a water change. Yeah. But meanwhile, how do we set it to the right temperature? Does it have Looks like it has a thing here. Oh yeah. 78, 80. I'm gonna set it to 76 or so to start off with. I don't know if that really will work or not, but see, you can set it to the desired temperature. Aquarium. They have a pretty good reputation. Let's see what things they're going to tell us here. Attach the suction cups, yeah. Set the heater temperature to the required temperature value. Install the heater in a water-filled aquarium. See, you're supposed to fill it up with water first. I will make sure I do that. The heater works best when installed in the aquarium in the vertical position. The installation of the heater in this position requires that the aquarium must maintain a water level above the minimum water line B on the heater. Way up here at the top, B. Wow, you have to have your thing really full. Can't let a lot of water evaporate off when you're using this. So I'm glad I read that. The heater can be installed in the aquarium in the horizontal position. So I guess then that means this is waterproof. You know, I kind of like the horizontal position. For the heater, I mean, okay? All right, so what else? Vertical, yeah. Okay, adjust the temperature. Should the heater need adjustment, never operate without the rubber protective guard. They don't want you to electrocute yourself, so we'll avoid that. Now, what else do I need to figure out? This is my tank. Fluval Flex 32.5 gallon tank. Of course, it doesn't hold quite that much water because some of that water will be displaced by decor and such. Read and follow all of the safety instructions. I think I was able to do most of this, and I told you about it in a separate video you'll see in the future, but one thing I have no idea how to do is how to operate the Aqua Sky LED with the Bluetooth. The LED light that goes across the top. So you can do all kinds of effects with it. Different environments, different color schemes. You can simulate lightning storms and all kinds of stuff. Why you would want to scare your poor fish that way, I do not know. Or your spouse. Never use soap or detergents. If you have to be told that, you don't belong in the aquarium maintaining business, okay? I'm a little bit froggy, so I need a sip of water. I think I'll make some tea soon. People keep asking me for whisper videos. This one's gonna be half whispered. Okay. So let's see. I think I already know how to do all this. Putting the filter mechanisms together and installing that. I did that part already. You'll see that in a future video that happens to have bad lighting, but that's okay. Because in ASMR you don't really want bright lighting. Unless you're looking at one of those young lady ASMR artists, right? I'm not coming on these days because I have this terrible condition caused by the chemo. It's like poison oak, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm visiting a dermatologist. We'll see if they can help or not. Anyway, I'm not being vain, I just don't want to scare you. So this tells us how to use the Bluetooth activated Aqua Sky LED light bar. And I actually ordered a second one of these. It hasn't come yet. Because if you can put a second one in the hood of the aquarium so that you really do a good job of covering both the back and the front of the aquarium to see your fish well, but more importantly, because I'm going to have a lot of aqua plants. I want them to grow well. So yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to do this. I never even use Bluetooth, but I guess here it says I can scan this code to learn how to download the free Fluval Smart app, or I can search for Fluval Smart. It's hard to say that for me. In the App Store. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the stuff. Some of the decor. I just pulled out of storage in the garage that I want to put into the aquarium. That might be more interesting to you because it's all stuff we found on the beach. Hold on, I'll be right back. Look, guys, it's magic. This box just appeared out of nowhere. Somebody's texting me on the phone. Joanne's taking a trip across an ocean passage. I'm going to respond back to her real quick if you don't mind the interruption. She's in a little boat, see? She's really on a ferry boat, and they're going from Siargao to the other island, heading back to Manila, where they have to stay a while, and then they will eventually come here. But that's a few weeks away still. Anyway, she helped me collect some of this stuff, especially the agates. Look at this nice piece of driftwood. This will be perfect aquarium decor. Well, we found this on the beach. Do you know? I had to cut the end off so it would fit. But it's going to want to float. So I think I'm going to have to tie some rocks to it or something. Some agates to make it stay down in the bottom of the aquarium. And here I have a variety of shells and things that we found. This is like, ocean critters of various types. Pieces of abalone. Didn't find this on the Oregon coast, actually. This was on the California coast. There's not much abalone up here. But when we were down there, we found some pieces. Here's a sea urchin shell. It's a little bit broken on the bottom, but I'll set it right side up if I use it. These are some of the local, crustacean shells here. Different kinds of clams. It was down by Monterey where we collected the abalone shells. That one doesn't have a lot of color though. I don't know if I'll use that. some of the pieces are actually more colorful. Little scallop type shells. Found a lot of different shells. These were here on the Oregon coast, by the way. Shell, another ab shell piece. And another small abalone. I wish it had more vibrant colors. Probably if I was to take a tool to this of some kind and take the top layer off, I could get more vibrant colors out of it. Some kind of clam. Don't know what kind. So I'll use some of this. I'm not going to use all of it. I don't want to overcrowd the aquarium. This is, I'm not sure what this is, but kind of sorting this stuff. I have here a bag of tumbled agates and jaspers. I'm debating whether to have all natural. Look, I have a little piece of sea glass there. I have a little collection of sea glass somewhere. I'm going to put a few pieces in the aquarium. Another kind of spiral shell. Find these down at the beach. Joanna's texting me again. Do you know that Filipinos send more texts per day than any other nationality on the planet? Many of them several hundred per day. They're the heaviest users of texting in the entire world. That's an actual, true statistic, not something I'm just trying to be facetious about. And they also like to be on the phone a lot. So those of you who feel bad, like, oh, your wife went away for all these months, trust me, we have more in-depth communication apart in a day with a couple hours of being on the phone and dozens of texts than most couples have in a month that are together. Anyway, of course you can't do everything on the phone, can you? Although there are variations of, well, never mind. Okay, so I have to decide if I'm going to put any of these rocks that I ran through the tumbler, because you use an aluminum oxide, and I'm going to have to study up and make sure, absolutely sure, that aluminum oxide is safe for my aquarium fish. I don't think it really comes off easily once you've hammered it in there by tumbling it. Get these shells out of here before they get broken. Now here we have a variety of agates of all kinds and descriptions, and I'm hoping here's a nice, they're both nice and orange, but these rough ones don't look like much, but when you put them in water they look a little better with some light. This is a real nice piece of carnelian there, you can see. These are all beach found agates, and I'm going to put some of these into the aquarium. Of course, I'll show it to you later when I do that final version of the progressive setup. And in the future, I'll make ASMR video where I just have you watching the fish and the aquarium as I whisper things or talk about things that are interesting. That's a nice piece there. A couple of these I've tumbled, but they're kind of still beat up, and so they would be good aquarium rocks, because I can never turn them into gem quality or something. So I'm going to figure out how many of these I can put into the aquarium, how to set it up. Here's a piece of jasper with quartz that I can tie to the, if I tie a few pieces like this to that driftwood, maybe I can keep it down in the water so it's not floating to the surface. Another shell, it shouldn't be with all the rocks and get broken. Here's yet another shell. We'll put that aside over there. That's not an agate. It's a rough piece of quartz. Sometimes people call them sugar agates because it looks kind of like a rock of sugar, right? Sugar. These really rough agates, I can't really tumble them, and that's why I segregated out a batch of them to use. Oh, look at that. I get excited by geology, guys. I'm easily excited. I love this piece because it's loaded with druzy crystal. See there? This was the inside of a geode at some point in time. An inner layer of a carnelian geode. Wish I had the whole thing, but I like that crystal matrix there. It's very cool. I gotta figure out a way to put that where it can be seen in the aquarium. Joanne's texting me like mad. It's buzzing every couple of seconds. I better make sure the boat's not sinking or anything. Let's see what she's saying. Some people here are sleeping, she says. Did I take my antibiotic? Yes, I did. And she's sending a video of the waves and things like that. See, there she is. See, she keeps me in the loop. A little bit scary, she says. That's what they're doing right now. See, you're getting it real time, just like me. So the colors aren't so good, but yeah. I'll respond to her so she knows I'm not ignoring her. She's a little bit afraid of the water, guys. The water scares her a little bit. If there's big swell, she gets seasick. I'm gonna just type a little something that you don't get to know what it is. Okay. All right. Now maybe she will let me finish my video in peace. And for a couple of minutes, I'm almost done. More of these. Another sip of water, guys. There we go. I'm gonna have fun figuring out how to set this aquarium up. But you know what my problem is? I even found a rough piece of agate down at the central not agate. What's it called, guys? Why is this slipping from my memory all of a sudden? I don't know. Losing my mind. But I'll remember in a minute. Down on the central California coast, when I was down there, there's a secret place I go. I really love this one. I might have to tumble this specimen because it's got so many interesting and beautiful layers. I'll put that aside for tumbling. It's not really an aquarium rock. amethyst, guys. Why couldn't I remember? This is a rough piece of amethyst that I found down on the Central California coast. I know it just looks like quartz, but if you look close, see the purple color? It's actually low-grade amethyst. Yeah. Not easy to find. I have only found 2 or 3 pieces in my hunt down there. But almost all the rest of this stuff, a lot of it, is from the Oregon coast. Not all the shells. All the shells on this that I put over here are Oregon coast shells. Most of them. But these pieces were when we went to the Central California coast area. Those abalone pieces. You don't find those up here. Okay, I'm going to wrap this video, because I'm excited now to get busy setting up the aquarium decor. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified of future videos to come. And yeah, don't ASMR and drive. And I hope you all have a great Christmas. I'm going to upload on my ASMR Theology channel over the next few days. I had a request to go through the Gospels from one of my subbies. I'll look up her name. I can't remember now. I'll look it up and I will upload there and do some commentary. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.